Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Here we are. We're back at it. Oh, guys, I'm back on a normal routine, and I could not be happier. Start my day. Bottle of water today. And I've been so eager to get back to a normal routine, folks. I've been out running around. This is my first real day back at home and actually even going to work in the office. I've been just kind of on the move. I had a little mini vacay. It was much needed. Good morning, Aunt Sissy. And, now I'm trying to get back into the flow of things. So I think one of the cool things is that most of us, I think a lot of us are coming off of a 3-day weekend for President's Day. And so I look at today like a fresh start, sort of like a top of the week. If you had off Monday, which is even better, it means you got a chance to get a mental health day yesterday and relax. Good morning, Uncle Dale. And so you know how important that is as far as getting your plans and stuff in order and getting your day started right, your week started right. And so let's look at this today like a fresh start to the week. 0-0 is the score. There's no, hopefully you had a day of rest yesterday. We can look at that like a reset, and you can really focus on getting your goals set for the week. And we're going to talk a lot about goals today, especially after I'm coming off a conference mode. It's all we're doing for the past few days is goal setting, strategic planning, and things of that sort. So we're definitely going to talk about goals today. But in your goal setting, this is what I wanted to do. I often talk about, of course, what's up, sis? Happy Tuesday. I often talk about, of course, people setting goals that are sort of like what your next best step is, kind of thing. Is my thing often. But I also want to say it's okay to dream big, right? So if you're a person who hasn't had a chance, or if you're new to listening to the warm up, I do want people to dream big, have a big dream, know where you want to go, and then of course our steps towards that are going to be smaller goals to get there. And the reason why I wanted to just remind people to dream big is because today we're going to talk about goal setting, and I'm probably going to get down into the weeds of being very strategic about your specific goals. But I don't want you to think that dreaming big is not important and having big visions is not important, because it's just as important, if not even more important, because that's of course where you want to go. So it's just some things that I had wrote on the board and some things that were on my mind. But I thought it was great to say, hey, as I'm telling people that this is a fresh start to your week, a fresh start maybe in a lot of ways for people, depending on whatever it is you've been going through this year so far. Let's look at today as a fresh start. And during a fresh start, during a fresh outlook at things, it is a good opportunity that you have during that time to look at some big picture things and just dream a little bigger, and it's okay. So I wanted to come up, before I dive into what I really wanted to talk about today, I wanted to give you two quotes. Two quotes today. And the first quote is going to be from President Barack Obama. And the reason why is because yesterday was President's Day, right? And so I wanted to share a quote from Obi-Wan, my man. The best prez, if you ask me. So here we go. Y'all know this one, but it's such a good one. Here we go.
The prepaid Visa Rush Card. Get your direct deposit up to 2 days.
I'm getting sponsored by the Rush Card.
So what are you doing tomorrow for your birthday?
News commercials.
So your
Hold on,
money's ready
guys.
when you are.
What about that one?
And you're free to do the things that matter most.
So much.
What is it? I done got hit with an ad.
And now with Rush Card's new pause protection feature, you can pause and resume
I can't stop it.
Get your direct deposit up to
It took over. Sorry, guys. So, the Rush card took over my my video this morning. All right, here we go. Barack Obama, the president said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change we seek." Just let that sink in, guys. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change we seek, that we seek. Man, that's powerful, guys. You gotta look in the mirror. You gotta look in the mirror after that quote. Good morning, Dwight. What's up, brother? See you in a few. Oh, that's dope. So, this just in. This is good news. I just learned. Morehouse, my sister shared that Morehouse declared yesterday as President Barack Obama Day, which I think is so cool. So, I'm going to read that quote one more time because a lot of times we want to point fingers. A lot of times you hear people say, especially in the black and brown community, "Oh, we need a new leader." Hey, man. Sometimes you got to be the change. You got to be the leader, especially in your own household and in your own community. I don't know who you're waiting for. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. It ain't gonna come, man. Some other person. The person is you. The time is now, right? We are the ones we've been waiting for. You are the ones. We are the ones. We are the change that we seek. We. So I just I want to leave that with you guys, man, because the change is gonna start with you. And there's no better time than like the present. I say it like, but I mean it. There's no better time than the present, right? And the change starts with you. So, I mean, the president was right on key with that one. And I hope that sinks in, man, because I know a lot of you guys are trying to change the situation, but you can't wait on somebody else to come along and change it for you. That's not their job. They're worried about their situation. So, just something to think about. Okay. Another quote that I wanted to share, and this quote comes from The Alchemist. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And on the back of The Alchemist, there's a quote. At least on this print, there's a quote, and I wanted to share this quote with you guys. And then we're going to talk about some. We're going to talk about goal setting, which I know isn't always the most fun thing to talk about, but we are going to talk about some goal setting after that. Y'all notice that Keep Your Head Up is on in the background, right? Just let that sink in. Podcast some bangers, man. But definitely, that's a quote in and of itself. Keep your head up. Okay, so I want to share a quote from The Alchemist. And this one's good. Right. Don't expect them. If anything, you got to set them things up. Dwight said, "Don't expect any handouts or alley-oops to success." I mean, and that's the truth. You don't expect it. It ain't just going to show up at your door like, "Hey, here's a ticket to success." You know, it don't work like that. You know, you got to put yourself in a position to catch an alley-oop. You got to put yourself in a position to receive a handout. And so it ain't going to just show up magically one day. All right. Here's the quote. I'm teasing this quote a long time. A lot of commercials today, man. Somebody going to have to, I should really get paid. Okay. To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. How crazy is that? As much as I talk about doing other things, you know, as much as I talk about how much it is that, you know, we're called to do, but I think this is so important. To realize, I'll put it up here. I don't know if it reads right on your side, but, oh, it reads backwards on Twitter. But on Facebook, it reads right. So To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That's it, y'all. What are you here for? What are you here for? What impact are you going to make? What change are you here to create? To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. What's your destiny? That's your goal. That is your goal, to find out what your destiny is, not what nobody else's destiny is. Although I think my goal, if you want to know, my destiny is to help you find yours, believe it or not. But that's your only obligation, to figure out what you're here for. I'm here to empower people and motivate people and help y'all get y'all day started right. That's what we want to do. That's why I do this every morning. I thought about this last night as I was going to sleep, just waking up and trying to bring some good energy to the day. Because this is what I'm called to do. Good morning, Liz. I'm doing well. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about something. It's 11 minutes in. I'm going to give y'all about 4 or 5 minutes. We could finish. But this is what I want y'all to leave with today. And this is going to be, this beat is so tough. This is absolutely going to be a refresher for a lot of people. But for some people, it's going to be new. And that's why you got to do this. You got to do this sometime like this. Okay, today we're going to talk about SMART goals. SMART goals. Some people say, oh, SMART goals, that's so easy, Dennis. Why would you pick that topic? Well, because maybe not everyone knows what a SMART goal is. So let me turn down the music so I can tell you. So as I'm always talking about goal setting, and you guys know how I feel about goal setting, because I believe that goal setting holds you accountable. When you're setting your goals, you should set SMART goals, right? So what are SMART goals? SMART goals, and SMART is an acronym. That means S stands for something, M, A, R, and T, and so on and so forth. So SMART means creating goals for yourself that are very specific, right? Very specific goals, detailed goals, knowing what it is you want to do, very specific. Which means that you don't want to just go to the grocery store. You want to go to the grocery store and you want to get some pasta, you want to get some tomato sauce, and you want to get some meatballs because your goal is to make some spaghetti. So you don't want to just go to the grocery store. You're going to be very specific about your goal, about where you want to go, what you want to do, what it is you want to accomplish. Specific goals. Measurable goals. So I want to cook a dinner that's going to be able to serve 5 people, and it's going to be less than $50. Those are your measures, right? So now you not only want to go to the grocery store, you want to go to the grocery store, you want to go get spaghetti, which is very specific. So you have to get the specific ingredients for the spaghetti. Well, you have to make sure you get enough, right? Because your measure is that you want to spend. What's up, David? What's up, Awanda? Your measure is that you want to spend less than $50, and you want to be able to serve at least 5 people. So now you have measures to your goal. You know what I mean? So that's the end. Achievable. I want to get. I am serving not just 5 regular people. These are 5 grown men, right? So, am I going to be able to do this on a $50 budget? These are let's say you're serving the offensive linemen of the New England Patriots. 5 big men. So is this goal achievable? Do I need to adjust it? Can I do it by cooking all by myself? Do I need additional help? Can I accomplish this goal on a $50 budget to serve 5 people? Spaghetti, am I going to have enough? I think you can still do it, believe it or not. And which brings you to the next one, the R, realistic. Is the goal realistic? Is it reasonable? It would have been unreasonable to say, I want to feed all of the New England Patriots on a $50 budget. That would have been ridiculous, right? That would have been unreasonable, would have been unrealistic. But I think that, you may be able to pull it off. Realistically speaking, may be able to pull it off on a $50 budget, only feeding 5 people. They only going to get 1 serving because they're big guys, but that's the goal. So, but is your goal realistic? And lastly, is it timely? Is it timely? It's the night before the Super Bowl. The offensive line, they got to be in bed by 10 p.m. That means this dinner got to be cooked by 7 at the latest so these guys can eat and get home. So is it timely? Is your goal timely? So let's review. We wanted to make spaghetti. I made this whole New England Patriots situation up along the way, by the way. But we wanted to make spaghetti for the offensive line for the New England Patriots on a $50 budget. And we need to get it done before 10 o'clock p.m. They need to be be cooked and fed before 10 p.m. So you go to create your goal, and you want to just make sure that it's smart. Are you being reasonable about this? You told the guys you was going to cook for them. You told them you was going to have spaghetti. That was specific. That was great. You told the guys, look, we can only feed 5 people. Send the offensive line. Measurable. That was great because you only had a budget. You felt like it was reasonable and you didn't need too much help. It was an achievable goal. You're a great cook, right? You thought it was realistic, the amount of food and the number of people. I mean, they were only going to get 1 meal, but it was still realistic. You could still get it done. And then timely. If you figured if you got to the grocery store no later than 1 p.m., you can get everything you needed and get home and get set up and get everything cooked. That's a smart goal. That's a very strategic plan to serving the New England Patriots spaghetti dinner. So, but apply this in everything. I mean, I've used a very simple analogy because I think simple analogies resonate with people. They understand it. They can digest it better. But you apply SMART goals to your decision-making processes. If you're setting a goal for yourself to lose weight, how much weight specifically? If you are in how much time? How are you going to measure your success? Over in months, in pounds? What are you going to do? How are you going to measure it? Are you giving it? Everybody says they want a beach body by spring. Is it achievable? Is it realistic that you're going to reach that goal in a short amount of time? Spring is a month away. So, if you got a savings goal, how much money do you want to save? Be very specific. How are you gonna calculate that measure? If I save this much money each week, that can get me to my goal. How are you gonna measure it? So I want you guys to create goals for yourself and make sure the goals are smart and achievable, because there's no point in chasing down dreams and goals and stuff that you've created for yourself that are completely unattainable. So, all because you didn't take time to write your goals out the right way. Here's my challenge, because I want to be actionable. As you go into today, just create a little checklist of today's goals. Make sure they're smart, but a checklist. Put 3 things, 4 things, maybe 5 things on a checklist, no more than 5 that you want to really get done today. And go ahead and knock those things out. Just as you're goal setting, as you're putting together your checklist, make sure they're SMART goals, right? That you're doing something that's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Some other M's are meaningful, motivational. Some other R's are projects that are relevant and reasonable. So I want you guys to just have that. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Have a great week. It's just Tuesday. Remember, to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That's your goal, folks. Realize your destiny, and then everything else is going to start falling into place. The universe is going to conspire to make that destiny come true. It's going to happen like that. So y'all have a good one. God bless. Later.